Hello everyone, I'm cutting back in and I don't know if you noticed, but the price did spike up on this is bit on Bitfin here, Bitfin 1 hour, and that is the high 133.36. It's just continuing to go and break through and break through. Recent fib line is right from where this big spike was and moved down. This is whipsawing right here. The low being here for the fib lines all the way to the recent high. And if you see, it kind of correlates to this line as well. Some of these movements in price that you see, it stopped right here at the 26%, which would be like 28.6 if you drew the fib the other way. Anyways, yeah, it usually typically will, when you see retracements like this, it'll go back all the way to here. Remember, if it goes through here, then this whole thing is invalid, and expect to see prices to kind of start going down, retracing from the overall big push up. Anyways, it's bounced down here and it's moved here. We'll see how it goes. There's no movement in price to really put a downtrending line yet. If this goes back down, then it's a very sharp downtrending line, which you got to be careful for sharp ones because they kind of do indicate a very fast sell-off. But anyways, we'll see what happens during the day. And again, I'm just going to do the same thing, draw some trending lines and maybe some trend lines. This is this is the recent one that I've been doing. There's another one down further away, but I stopped redrawing that because it just seems to never hit until this actually breaks down. The price breaks down between this trend line, which is, let me see if I can pull back here, which is from this point here to this, or yeah, I think this point all the way up to this end point right here. So from here to here, and then you'll see the trend line just really start taking off. You know, until it actually reaches here again or breaks through. I'm not going to really draw the other trend line, which is it's kind of down here a little bit, a little further. I just want to see if it can break this first, which it looked like it'll make. You know, let's just move this out here. Maybe we can just kind of do something like this. As you can see, a little time frame here, pulling back a little bit just to get a better idea of the time frame, and also where it actually might hit this support line, and we'll see if it bounces up again on that or if it breaks down. And then so current price is 324. The Chinese exchanges really started spreading out. I think there's got to be some very high demand over on the Chinese exchanges to have this amount of spread in price. Almost $20 spread in price, $18 right now. $30 from BitC, as you can see. Some big spread moving. I don't know if the Chinese money is worth less, has been devalued for whatever reason, but so you're seeing some really big spreads here. And so again, indication of it is a bullish indication to have one exchange kind of really start to take off, but also you know, if that's the case, why isn't there more arbitrage opportunities going on? And I don't know, could be several reasons. I mean, people really don't want Chinese money, so that way Chinese money has to be put at a more attractive price, maybe. That could be it. I mean, there's a lot of different things here. I mean, you're literally are currency trading, you're stock trading, you're commodity trading, because you know you can tie Bitcoin to anything, especially if it's, you know, if you can tie it to a price or any price. It doesn't have to be US dollar. It could be Bitcoin, it could be rubles, it could be anything, and then based on that, you know, you make a trade on things that you need, things that you want, right? Plastics, gold, silver if you want, or other commodities. You could trade for wheat, uh, rice, whatever, corn, lumber, soybeans, cattle. Uh, what's the other one? Bacon. you know, I mean, pork bellies. Whatever it is that you're trying to you know trade. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. I mean, whatever it is, literally whatever, as long as you can peg it to something that is of value or willing to trade it and come up with a price somehow, and that price could be anything. Remember, and the great thing is uh, you can just go onto your phone and just pick up an exchange rate, and you can decide the exchange rate as well. You can set the exchange rate price on the actual exchange of a different price comparison, and use Bitcoin as a payment to interact with those two prices. So, anyways, there you go. Let me just cut out. I'll cut out and cut in. I like to see what happens now. It just keeps breaking and breaking up and breaking up. Um, it's pretty amazing to see this. On the longer time frame, it has broken higher than all the previous breakouts, or the price moving up. So again, another indication of a bullish sign is higher highs. We'll see what the low is going to be. Obviously, the low is going to probably be higher than the recent low, but will it be higher than some of the previous lows after going up and going down? So we'll just have to wait for that. But so far, I am really enjoying this ride, and so we'll just let it ride, or even try to get some more. I was asleep during this time, so I didn't take advantage of this dip here. But we'll see how much of a dip it's going to be, and it looks pretty good like this because I've put in a long time frame. If I put it into a shorter time frame, and you'll see it's just there we go. So if I just still looks pretty big though, but you'll notice, like, if you noticed, if I when I just had you know when I just was showing this part of the trade, it looked pretty big, looked just like this. Now with this bigger move, you'll notice that this is really just a small move. This was a really small move in comparison to this overall movement in price. And you see the waves, the waves of the price action are just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I guess you could say there's more in volatility increasing, but it's really not. It's just the waves are just getting bigger as you'll see the price move, and there's waves within waves. You have to be around, you have to be in the game in order to catch the big waves. So you gotta be out there. If you like surfing, you gotta be out in there, in the ocean to catch that big wave. If you're not there, then you'll never catch it. So this is kind of the same concept. You'll see the waves coming, and then after a while, you may sense the big wave come in. You kind of know it because the water starts receding. The waves are kind of really getting low, and that's the sense you'll feel that the big waves coming. In other words, maybe you won't be able to get so much Bitcoin so easily. Everyone's anticipating something to happen, either a big sell-off or a big buy-off or something. I don't know, but you'll sense it because you'll notice, like, is it easier to get Bitcoins or is it harder to get Bitcoins? That could be one indication. Also, the price of acquiring Bitcoins may increase quite a bit because it's harder and harder to get Bitcoins, for example. So anyways, there's the current price there. I would suspect if you went on the Chinese exchange and did a chart analysis, the chart I did on the Chinese exchange on the 12, I think it was it a 1 day? I think it was 1 day or 3 day. If you line those lines up again off the high, you'll probably notice some of those lines have been breaking up. And so anyways, I'll cut out and cut back in, so there's plenty of time for me to to show that. So anyways, wow, everything looks good. Prices are moving within the fib lines. From there to here is the fib line, and so just got to watch it. And remember, if it does break below this line right here, which is at 307. So if it breaks here below that, then that's an indication that we might be experiencing retracement from this move up. So get your money ready for buying on the dip, and just get it ready, because you'll probably see a larger sell-off coming off soon, and then some retracement. But if the trend continues, obviously the price is just gonna go back up, So anyways, I'm cut out. Bye. Hello everyone, welcome back. And today is Saturday, Halloween 31st. So here's the chart analysis here. So I'm cutting back in, and last I left, I think it was around here somewhere. Anyways, I think I was asleep during this time, or was I awake? I'm not sure. Anyways, it did hit the all-time high for this year, I guess, on the Phoenix. I think I was asleep around here, this whole thing. Looks like it went back up, retested, couldn't go back up again, and it kind of does a weird thing. It makes a flat, kind of like a flat line here on top, and I'm just trying to get a sense of the downtrend on this way. So just these two lines here, and it's been going down now. So whatever this line I had before, I had a line here, it's obviously past that. This is actually the very high, original high line that it's following. There's another one below this as well, way down here. I'm just going to put this up and see what happens. Looks like some things are starting to come down here. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but if this passes this, which it might, but again, there's this other support that's coming here, then there could be some retracement coming in, or those are signs of retracement. So anyways, we'll have to see. Right now, you got three possible areas where you could make some order limits. What's it, 321, 318, 319. So if you were here, you had your limits hit. Last one here, I still have all my limit orders from this high up here down to here. So my limit orders are actually start from here coming down this way, ironically, or something like that. I haven't updated those because I wanted to see how far this goes up, and I'm just going to follow it. And again, I'm just going after dips and different strategy, but we'll see what happens. This line right here, where it intersects, this downtrending line where it intersects right here, this gives me a time of about 7 at night on Halloween. So let's see what happens on Halloween night, and see if anything crazy happens. I guess some part of the world it's already happened, but let's see if it happens here on my time. Anyways, let me cut out, and I'll cut back in later. Hello everyone, I'm cutting back in, and it was really scary over the weekend. This was Halloween night here out in Houston. Price just started dropping. I was watching it to see if it would break below, but it didn't break. It kind of went up and bounced up here, which gave me a line to follow, which eventually just broke out here during Sunday and then Sunday night, and then this is Monday morning right here. It just keeps breaking through. So again, another bullish sign. The line that was here broke down from this falling. This line right here is actually the one of the original lines. Let me see here. So from this point to this edge. This is the line right here, and you can see as the waves get bigger, the wave going down gets bigger too, but it looks like the wave going up is just keeps getting bigger as well. And so that's kind of where I got my lines. Well, that's the lines I'm using now with the fib lines. I'll probably have to readjust these lines again. So let me move the cursor out of the way. So basically, the fib line started from here to this top point, which I kept through, and it did kind of move around within some points here. And it looks like it's this push through really put the momentum going forward to Monday morning. So anyways, I'm on Bitfinex. There's the price. There was some big huge spreads on the Chinese exchange and even Bitstamp. Bitstamp was down to 318 at one point, maybe 316, 312, and there was almost a $10 gap between Bitstamp and Bitfin, and then a $20 gap between Bitfin and Hobu, and almost a $40 gap, Bitsy and Hobu, and again $10 difference between there. So there was quite a spread going on. Now it looks like it's Bitfin and Bitstamp are evenly being filled here. Don't know, Bitsy has always been low, but now you're looking at almost a $20 difference between Bitsy and Bitfin. So everything's starting to really stratify here, going up. Usually stratified going down, where you would see Bitsy being higher in price and everyone kind of dropping, but it seems like the inverse is happening, where prices are shooting up. So anyways, I guess I'll try to figure out another chart analysis where I can map out my chart here and refigure. So if I was going to do it, it would be from this point here to, well, wherever the high is before the pullback. Then I would draw the lines again, draw the fib lines, and see where we are. And amazingly, this line really coincided with a lot of things happening, like this time frame right here. You can see the price moving up. The next time frame is all the way over here, which isn't, I think, until Tuesday. And so let's see, as the time goes on longer, let's see if there's a bigger wave that's pending, because the waves just seem to just get kind of bigger and bigger, or there's more price volatility, because it just came from 235 all the way to down to 300. So that's about a $30 difference. It moves in almost within 2 days there. So quite a bit of difference. So anyway, this is the bottom of Halloween. This is the top of Monday. So you got basically almost looks like a $40 difference in just 24 hours. That's quite a bit. So anyways, let me cut out and I'll cut back in. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm cutting in here, and there's not much of an analysis for me to do. It just keeps going up and up. I haven't even had a chance to change my fib lines or anything. Again, this is Halloween, the day after Halloween. Kind of breaks out. Really starts breaking out. This is Monday. Monday around this time, Monday morning. Eventually, the price did go up, and it kept going up and up all the way up to 398. This is on a Bitfinex on 1 hour. There's the current price, and you can see it's 394. So pretty much for the most part, we've already hit 400. I'll just consider this 400. That's amazing. I didn't expect 400 to be hit, to go to 400 so fast in a short amount of time. But there you have it. I'll try to redraw fib lines and see where they're going. Really, the fib line has not changed, because my original fib line was from here to here, and then kind of came back all the way down to here. So I'll just, from here to this point on, As you see, the fib lines have gotten bigger, the waves have gotten bigger, um, and the waves going down will get bigger too. So it'll just really start moving. A lot of volume is moving. Some of the exchanges are still a little stratified. Anyways, you can see Hobu is past 400, Bitfinex 394, 395, Bitstamp 393. There was at one point a huge difference between Bitfin and Bitstamp. You see Bitstamp has caught up. That's not surprising. Hobu used to be about $20, almost $30 spread between these other two exchanges. Bitsy's always been lower, but the spread is narrowing. So I think there's obviously the arbitrage or the flow of Bitcoin or money in these different exchanges are starting to seems to equalize a little bit. So that's I guess that's good because things are really starting to catch up to wherever the prices are supposed to be. How long will it last? I don't know. I'm gonna have to reanalyze everything. So let me cut out and cut back in, and I'll reanalyze on a larger scale of what happened because I have to redo the chart anyway. So anyways, let me cut out and I'll cut back in. Bye. Hello everyone, I'm cutting back in and just gonna do a quick line on different Chinese exchanges because a lot of volume, I do believe a lot of volume and a lot of demand has been driven by the Chinese exchange and Chinese market, or in that area market. So I came back up here and as you see, there's nothing. I thought there might be something, a resistance right here, which it just blew right by. So I played around with it, and if I try to match up a line here, this makes the most sense. As you see, an upward trending line, which kind of correlates with the bottom of here before it started. And so you're seeing something that does correlate to a movement up or a channel being made for the price going back up. Whether it's going to break above this or not, I don't know. It's already at around $400 US dollars, which this is current Chinese price on OKCoin. So I'm just looking for any other resistance or anything that would prevent the prices going up, other than maybe a resistance of right here of an uptrending line, which it may have an effect. If it does break above that, again, when you have a price breaking above an uptrending resistance line, very, very bullish, very high in demand. And so, well, let me see, I'll go into Bitcoin China. It wouldn't hurt to take a look at some of this because a lot of demand is coming from China. A lot of use is coming from China, so I think ignoring Chinese exchanges or Chinese markets is kind of foolish. So let's have a look here at this, and you see right there that it's broken. And then we'll try to figure out another line where we can get an idea of what the new lines would be. So again, this seems to work well within how things are going here. You see the bottom of this as support. I think if anything, if it does manage to go above this and then play off of that going up, you're just looking at a continuation from these support lines here. That seems to make sense. We'll see. I think it has reached a certain, the price going up every time. Like I look at it the night before and I'm thinking, wow, this is amazing. The price just keeps going up, and I wake up in the morning, it's higher again, and you know, that's awesome, but that's also a little concern, because when the price moves that much, it makes you wonder, like, what's going to happen. But anyways, if you're looking for a reason or trying to speculate on why, it could have been just at some point in time it just became undervalued, and it's making a correction now to the upside. And let's see if it can continue on this kind of line trend here, what it's been doing. So as of right now, I guess you can say, even though the Bitcoin price has gone up a tremendous amount, you could almost say it's still undervalued, because if it is following a trend line, it's going to be this trend line right here, which it seems to be kind of following. We'll go back to Hobu here real quick. We'll do, let's see what we can get on this. There you go, there's a 3-day for that, and I'll try to do the same here. They'll let me. Okay. Yep. So again, I'm just trying to look for any resistance that it has, and it did take a little break at that point right there, but other than that, it's broken through. And as you see right there, it's broken through, and so I'm trying to find a support now or some other resistance on an uptrend. And on this one, it's very interesting. It's a little bit different, but as you see, it has slightly broken up above it, and we'll see what happens if it can stay on top of that and just, you know, play off of it and go up and up and up as it's moving around. That's kind of like a good sign, I guess. We'll go back to Bitfinex, which is not really a Chinese exchange, but they're in that area. Their exchanges in that area, so you can see another reason why their prices are starting to stratify against some of the other exchanges. But let's take a quick look at this, see what we can come up with. See, it's quite different. You can see it from this. It's broken out a long time ago, as you can see, as you just keep moving. As you keep moving this about, you know, it's broken out a long time ago. So this was one of the early indicators, and so was I guess all the other U.S. dollar exchanges were early indicators. Price was breaking out on that point. Let's see how much movement we're going to get if we do this. Alright, so there you go. Based on this is, I guess, a kind of a line that you can say was undervalued and overvalued, or whatever you want to say. I guess at any time between this line right here, anything that dropped below it was undervalued, and now it's gone back up. I'm just trying to compare the different exchanges. Difference in the exchanges, as you can see. In either case, they're both really good signals as far as the price going up. How far will it go up? I don't know. I guess the other option is, if it based on Bitfinex price, this is probably the other point, which is around almost $500. If the momentum continues and the way this chart is working out, it seems to be this is the next price target, because it's already hit almost 400, so going to 500 would be the next. If you can't do that, then you know what the range of the new price would be, somewhere between 400 and 500. If it goes below that, then it'll be 400 to 300, somewhere in that range. Either case, the price has gone up, and it's definitely improved my portfolio. Anybody who's holding Bitcoin right now, It's probably improved your portfolio. So, and then let's do another one on Bitstamp. Let's just do a quick analysis on that long term. Let me see here. I have to zoom in a little bit. Let's go to the top of this price. And let's see if, well, it's almost happening right here. You can see there, it's gone above that. It looked like it almost stalled around that price too, right around here, but you see this big push. That's, you just can't, that's undeniable. That's a really solid green candlestick. Very little wicks at the end of it. Very solid, and as you see here, if I moved it around, it kind of was an early indication of where that it was going to break out there. And so there you go. I'm just trying to figure out. You can see the longer time frame here. There you go. So longer time frame, you see this high, obviously breaking, and so looks like there's something to this area below this price line being undervalued, and which it did stay there for a while but didn't go any further, and now you see the price coming back up. So I don't know, my conclusions are pretty much it's a good sign. Looks like maybe 400 is the new low or the new bottom or the new support instead of the 200 price area, and that probably, you know, if things continue this way, they'll probably continue 400 being the support at this point, if the price continues up higher. That's what I can tell from looking at this. This is I'm trying to get back to Bitsy, see what we can find out about Bitsy. So and just, you know, when the price moves so much, you really need to take time to look at all the exchange on a longer time frame, so you can get a better idea what is going on. Okay, so let me zoom in here a little bit. So on this right here, it's either this, yeah, it's almost the same thing. You kind of see it's a flat line, again showing anything below here being undervalued, and then this big push, very strong push up, and it's been there since beginning. So basically beginning of 2005 and almost towards all the way up to the end of 2005, we've had one whole year of I would have to say very undervalued Bitcoin. And I have to admit, 2015 was a time when Bitcoin was undervalued, heavily undervalued in my opinion. But I hope a lot of people had a lot of time to get as many Bitcoins as they can, had the opportunity. You still can get a lot of Bitcoins. It just costs a little bit more. So anyways, for 2016, who knows what's going to happen. But if this is a reversal in trend or a bottoming, seems like it was the bottoming here, and it's going back above this price right here, which seems to be a big indication. I mean, to break above this line, obviously, and it broke really strong. As you can see, some of the other candlesticks here before it kind of hit up against it, came back down, and then really shot up. So we'll see what happens. So far, indications to me show, although the RSI here is way above 70, but don't, you know, on a downtrend, when you see an RSI go above 70, that's a sure sign of a sell-off. On an uptrend, being above 70 is a really bullish sign, so you have to take into those considerations. If it is on an uptrend, having it stay above the 70 on the RSI is not unusual. Matter of fact, those are actually a very good sign. Again, if you were trending up, because the momentum is there to really push the price higher and higher and higher, like you've been seeing and experiencing. Expect some retracements. If you were um, if you want to take on a little bit of risk, you can buy on the retracements. You can use some fib lines. Um, Let me just get back to Bitfin, and on a longer time frame, let's see what happens if we start using fib lines. And let's go back to this lower one and go up to this higher one. Let's see what's happening here. Does it match up to anything? It looks like it's matching up against something. So there is something to it here. You see, I'm almost at 400. So there is something to these fib lines here. Let me see if I match it up here. What is there anything happening? Yeah, there's almost something happening here at this price right now. You can see some recent price movements here. We're hitting up, going down, hitting up, this hitting up, and this going back down here. So there might be some. This is just retracement back from this high down to here. So you got something. If we take it even further, I mean, we can really see if we can take it further. If I can match it up here somehow. Okay. And you can see right around here, it's almost hit its low on Bitfinex. Already hit the 400 mark right here. Let me see if I did that right. On Bitfinex, let me see here. Okay, I'll just have to get that close. Yeah, actually, it does say that. 379.17. It's already hit, and it's a little bit above it, but we'll see what happens. If that's the first retracement, the second retracement is 559. It looks like it says 559, something like that. Okay. Well, let's see if I bring it. Let me see here. I wonder if. Let's try to bring it here. No, it already shows it's moving up. So there you go. You can always play around with these fib lines as well. Trying to get the bottom of that. There we go. Alright. So I'm trying to play around with it where well, let's see what happens. There's a lot of potential here. Definitely enough to have it go back up in price above beyond, because I'm trying to push this above that mark to make this boy. Okay. So basically I'm trying to make this and this line up to see if it really stops here, and it stops right around where it is, about 398. That means that according to this Fibonacci that we're seeing from this bottom point all the way up to this, have this space match, the price is going to go, if it does retraces back 100%, you're definitely looking back at the all-time highs and then some, because the line is actually above it. So I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? I'm just trying to take a guess at long-term prediction. It's kind of harder because you have to wait it out. Anyways, this is going to end my conclusion episode of Bitcoin Trade. I'll definitely just start a new episode, draw the lines again, but it's been fun watching this one, and hopefully a lot of you have been able to gain on that trade. So anyways, feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment, even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned. Bye.